Krishna came to annihilate the demons. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. In order to protect his devotees and in order to annihilate the demons. So first consideration actually is giving protection and giving pleasure to his devotees. Krishna performs his pastimes. Iti driksha lilabhir ananda kunde shaghoshang nimajjantam akhappayantam. Through his pastimes, Krishna submerges his devotees, drowns his devotees in a pool of ecstasy. So the main purpose of Krishna's coming here is to give pleasure to his devotees, to have the interaction, loving exchange with his devotees. Prabhupada in that respect pointed out that killing the demons is not a very important business for Krishna. He can do that through Maya, Mahamaya. Mahamaya, Durga Devi, kills so many demons. But just as in a drama, you have to have a villain to enhance the glory of the hero, so in this drama of Krishna's pastimes, yes, Krishna's pastimes are like drama. And just as drama, a good drama has two aspects. One is entertainment and the other is education. A good drama will always have some important message to convey and entertainment. So Krishna performs his drama, his pastimes, to entertain his devotees and teach the sincere individuals a very important lesson. And what is the lesson? Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. That's the lesson. Surrender unto Krishna. We can see through his pastimes that going against Krishna, nobody can win. So if you want to be in the winning team, then side with Krishna. Don't side with the demons. Like so many demons, so powerful individuals. Like for example, Kamsa, he had the boon that nobody could kill him. Nobody could kill him. And another consideration, another benediction that Kamsa received from Parasuram is that as long as the bow of Lord Shiva will remain intact, he will not die. It indicated another thing, that when the bow will be broken, then he will die. And that's what Krishna did. Kamsa was performing the Dhanur Yagya, the Yagya centered around that bow of Lord Shiva, and Krishna came and broke the bow. So announcing that, okay, Krishna, Kamsa, your days are numbered now. Like you're going to die. Anyway, Krishna killed many, many demons. The first one was Putana. And Krishna felt bad that the first demon that I have to kill is a woman. Therefore, when Krishna was sucking the life air out of Putana's body, Krishna closed his eyes. Same thing with Lord Ramchandra. The first one that he had to kill was Taraka, Rakshashi, another woman. So, then one after another, Krishna killed so many demons. Shakatasura, then Trinavartasura, then Vatsasura. They came in different forms. Vatsasura came in the form of a calf. And Krishna, 5-year-old Krishna, is taking the calves for pestering, grazing in the field. And Vatsasura came in disguise of a calf. And he thought that he would kill Krishna. Krishna killed him. Then Vakasura, another friend of Vatsasura. And Bakasura was the brother of Putana. So he was burning to take revenge. Oh, you killed my sister, I'll kill you. Got killed. So in this way, one after another, Aghasura. This Aghasura killing was very interesting. Aghasura assumed the form of a serpent and came to swallow Krishna up. And he thought that if Krishna can be killed, then Balaram will be easy to deal with. So that day Balaram was not there. It was Balaram's birthday. And Mother Rohini kept him at home. So the cowherd boys, while taking the calves, they saw this. To them it appeared to be like a huge mountain cave. And they thought, oh, one wonderful place to play. A new cave we found. And they all entered into the mouth of Aghasura, along with the calves. Krishna realized that, oh, now all my friends, all the cowherd boys have entered into Agha's mouth. What to do? So Krishna entered, and Aghasura was waiting for Krishna to enter. And as soon as Krishna entered, Aghasura closed his mouth. And Krishna expanded himself into such a large form that he got stuck. Agha could not swallow him. Got stuck on his throat. And then Krishna started to emanate terrible heat from his body. And Agha was writhing in pain. He couldn't leave his body either because his throat was choked. So he has left his body from the center of his brain center. Now, interesting thing to remember, this brain center, the way the yogis actually live there, they practice the yoga to leave their body through the brain center. And by doing that, they actually achieve spiritual perfection after death. But a demon Aghasura got that opportunity. The throat was choked, he couldn't leave his body. The only way he could leave his body is through his brain center. And not only that, he came out of his body and his spirit soul kept on hovering in the space. And as soon as Krishna came out, his soul entered into his body, Krishna's body. Brahma was watching. This 7-year-old boy, not even 6-year-old boy, he is performing such an amazing feat. Aghasura was such a terrible demon that even the demigods used to tremble in fear hearing his name. And that Agha is killed by this little boy. So who is this boy? Is he my Lord Narayan, just playing his pastimes as a cowherd boy? So Brahma kept on watching. So after killing Agha, Krishna along with his cowherd boy friends and the calves came to the bank of Jamuna. They let the calves graze. And they all sat down to have their breakfast, picnic. And they were eating. Some cowherd boy told Krishna, Krishna, my mother made this sweet so delicious. Just taste it. So he ate it himself and offered his juta, offered his remnants to Krishna. And Krishna took that. Then some other boy stole from Krishna's plate some other food, his food. So seeing that, Brahma began to wonder, my Lord Narayan will never behave like that. He won't take anybody's juta and no one will ever dare to give him his juta. his remnants. So who is this? So Brahma decided to figure out who that was. So he just stole the calves. And all of a sudden the cowherd boys noticed there was no calf in sight. So Krishna said, you all continue eating, I'll go and find out what happened. Maybe they have entered into the forest. So Krishna went looking for the calves, but he couldn't find them. Then he came back and he found that all the cowherd boys are also missing. What happened? Brahma stole first the calves and then the cowherd boys, and he kept them in sleep in a cave. And after putting them in the cave in Yoga Nidra, in fast asleep, as Brahma looked back, and he found the same scene is going on. All the calves are grazing and all the cowherd boys are there having their breakfast on the bank of Jamuna. What happened? When Krishna saw that the cowherd boys are also missing, Krishna just probed into it and he found, oh Brahma, you want to check me out? Okay, check me out. So Krishna expanded himself into all those calves and all those cowherd boys. So this time when Brahma looked back, Brahma then looked into the cave and he found that all the calves and cowherd boys are fast asleep. But this time when he looked back, he saw that all the calves and all the cowherd boys are all four-armed Narayans. And then Brahma realized that this personality is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even the origin of Narayan. He can generate innumerable Narayans, innumerable incarnations from himself. So then Brahma fell at his feet and begged forgiveness. So this is how Krishna performed his pastimes, killing the demons. In this way, Krishna killed Arishthasura. Then finally, the one he killed was Keshi demon. Keshi was a very, very powerful. Actually, all these demons were very powerful. But Keshi was exceptionally powerful. Even among those demons, Keshi had extraordinary power. So one day Keshi came to Kamsa and he saw that Kamsa in that distressful condition. There were rings around his eyes, his face looked so depressed, his hair is standing on end out of fear. So he asked, Kamsa, what happened? Why are you in such a condition? Then Kamsa told Keshi, that see, this Krishna and Balaram, I've been sending all these demons went to kill them. They're just two little boys. But they're killing all these demons, my associates. Putana is gone, Sakatasura is gone, Trinavartasura is gone, Aghasura is gone, Bakasura is gone. And then Keshi said, okay, Kamsa, I'll go and take care of him. Kamsa said, look, these two boys are terrible. Like, they have killed all these associates of mine. Keshi, who is the personification of pride, said, Kamsa, don't worry. Keshi is Keshi. Keshi knows how to take care of everyone. So giving that assurance, Keshi then went to Vrindavan, assuming the form of a gigantic horse. Attacked Krishna. Krishna killed Keshi. After a terrible fight, Like all these demons gave a very good fight before they were killed by Krishna. Krishna actually loved to fight with the demons. That's one of the reasons why Krishna is performing his pastimes, and in this way seeing how powerful these demons are and how Krishna is even more powerful than those demons, the devotees get an inconceivable joy watching that. So when Krishna killed Keshi, he was swinging him overhead, holding his hind legs. And then he let Keshi go. And Keshi went flying, Keshi's body went flying 12 miles and landed in front of Kamsa in Mathura. By the time his body became completely out of shape, it was just a bunch of flesh and bones. His shape was completely smothered by Krishna. And so at first Kamsa could not figure out what actually happened. And when he realized that it was actually Keshi, Kamsa started to tremble in fear. At that time, Narad Muni was there, and Narad Muni gave him the advice, which I described yesterday. Narad Muni's advice was, Kamsa, when the enemy is so strong, then don't deal with them with your partial energy, partial strength. When the enemy is so strong, you're seeing, you're sending one after another demon and they're being killed. So, attack him, join with all your strength together. And that is why Kamsa invited Krishna and Balaram to Mathura in that festival of Dhanurjagya. Anyway, so this is how Krishna actually came to kill the demons, and he annihilated so many demons. And his final act of annihilating the demons was the battle of Kuruksetra, which he did not do before. He killed, but he spared Duryodhana and his associates. And so, in that battle of Kuruksetra, the final act was performed. Now the world has become free from the demons. Krishna took care of everyone. Prior to that, I mentioned yesterday how Jarasandha came. Each time he came with 23 Akshohini soldiers. 23 Akshohini soldiers means 630,000 in one Akshohini, roughly. And that consisted of chariots, elephants, cavalry, and foot soldiers. That's called Chaturanga, 4 kinds of army. Chariots, elephants, horse, and foot soldiers. And 23 Akshayani, each time Jarasandha came, and all these 23 Akshayani soldiers were annihilated. And Krishna let Jarasandha go. Why? Because Jarasandha was actually Krishna's recruiting agent for the demons. He was recruiting the demons and bringing them to Krishna for Krishna to annihilate them. So this is how, in mass numbers, Krishna annihilated those demons. So let's go to some hilarious pastimes of Krishna from Garga Samhita. Krishna, as you know, another name of Krishna is, he was very naughty as a little boy. Natkhat Kanhaiya. In Hindi, Natkhat means naughty. Maybe the word naughty came from this Natkhat. So, Krishna was so naughty that when he was a little boy, he used to go to the houses of different gopis and steal butter. The butters would be hanging from the rafters, from the ceiling, and the boys would climb on top of the other on his shoulder, and then Krishna would lower the pots, and he would share the butter with all his friends. Then he would feed the butter to the monkeys. And when even the monkeys wouldn't want to eat anymore, then Krishna would say that this butter is so bad that even the monkeys don't want to eat it. Saying that, Krishna would break the pot and he would pinch the sleeping child of the gopi. And when the child would wake up with a shriek, with crying loudly, then Krishna, laughing with his friends, run out of the house. So this gopi went and reported to Mother Jasoda. So reported to Mother Jasoda that your son, look what your son does, is doing all that to us. Mother Jasoda couldn't understand why such complaint, because Krishna was with her all the time. And she was saying, but Krishna was with me all the time. When did he go and steal your butter and did all this mischief? Then the gopi asked, so you mean that I am lying? Mother Jashoda said, no, please don't misunderstand me. Like, I'm not saying that you are lying, but the thing is, Krishna was with me all this while. So then this gopi said, okay, next time I will catch him and bring him to you. Then you'll believe me. So this gopi was waiting for Krishna to come. And one day, Krishna came with his friends. He came with his friends and he did the same thing. Lowered the butter pots. He ate the butter along with his friends. And when they were full, they fed the butter to the monkeys who were also watching them. And then when he offered more butter to the monkeys, said, we are so full, we can't eat anymore. So Krishna said, this butter is so bad that even the monkeys don't want to eat it. He broke the pot and then he pinched the sleeping child of the gopi. When the child woke up crying, Krishna, along with the boys, were running out of the house. This gopi was hiding there behind the door, and she caught Krishna. Come, now I caught you, and I'm going to take you to your mother. Krishna kept on appealing to her, please don't take me to my mother. My mother will get very upset. She will chastise me. Then says, nothing doing. Your mother was telling me that I was lying, so today I'll prove to her that I am not lying. Saying that, the gopi took Krishna on her back and carried Krishna. Krishna was saying, please let me go, please let me go. I promise I'll never come to your house to steal butter again. But the gopi wouldn't listen. Came to Mother Jashoda carrying Krishna and said, see, Jashoda, this time I caught him red-handed, and now you believe me that my complaints were real? Mother Jashoda started laughing. This gopi got very upset. So you I caught him red-handed and brought him to you, and now you're laughing? What's wrong with you? Mother Jashoda said, look, who did you bring? So the gopi looked up and she found that she was carrying her own son. She was completely dazed. She could hear Krishna's voice ringing in her ears. Please let me go, please let me go. I promise I'll never come to your house again. My mother gets so upset, she'll chastise me, probably she'll even beat me up. And now she's seeing that she's carrying her own son. Anyway, totally embarrassed, with her head drooping down, carrying her son, she was walking back to her home. And then all of a sudden she heard Krishna laughing. She looked up and saw it was Krishna. And she just kept on chastising him. Krishna, you are such a rascal. You assumed the form of my son and you embarrassed me in this way to your mother, in front of your mother. Krishna said, look, I had to do something to defend myself. Like I told you, let me go. I told you that I'll never come to your house, but you wouldn't listen to me. Anyway, this time I became your son. Next time you catch me and take me to your mother, take me to your mother, I'll become your husband. So in this way, Krishna performs his pastimes and drowned his devotees in an ocean of ecstasy. So, it's already 20 to 8. Sabas Prabhu, should I close at 8 or should I carry on? I have 20 minutes. I said, should we end the class at 8 o'clock? Okay. Or should we go longer? Huh? Okay. Anyway, let me see. Huh? Okay, okay. Just wanted to find out, what. Okay, let us consider Krishna getting married. We are in Rukmini Dwarkadhish temple. Won't it be interesting to hear about how Krishna got married to Rukmini? How many of you want to hear about Krishna's marriage to Rukmini? Rukmini was, actually you can well imagine, Krishna's eternal consort, Lakshmi Devi. And she is extremely beautiful, extremely qualified. So her father was very concerned where to find a suitable match for my daughter. So when Narad Muni came to their house one day, to his palace, then he asked Narad Muni, can you please tell me where I can find a suitable match for my daughter? So Narad Muni told him about Krishna. And he started to describe Krishna's qualities. And Rukmini overheard the description. And just by hearing about Krishna's qualities, she fell in love with him. And she decided that if at all I have to marry somebody, then it has to be Krishna. I am not going to marry anyone else. But when her father declared that, that he is considering Rukmini's marriage with Krishna, his son, Rukmi, who was actually a friend of Krishna's enemies. like Shishupal, Dantavakra, Jarasandha, Duryodhana. So he was dead against that idea. Said nothing doing. You can't offer your daughter to, offer my sister to that boy. What's his background? We don't even know whether he's a Kshatriya. He grew up in the community of Vaishyas, in a village, in a forest. What he was doing? He was just tending cows with the cowherd boys. So this kind of materialistic people are very concerned about the aristocracy of the individuals. And he said that rather get her married to Shishupal. And he said Shishupal is such an aristocratic, coming from such an aristocratic background. And he is so qualified, he is so heroic. So in this way, now Rukmini's father was afraid because they already saw that Kamsa arrested his father and put him in prison when he went against him. So he was also worried that if he went against his son, who is also a friend of Kamsa and Kamsa's associates, he may do the same thing, may put him behind bars. So he decided to agree with that condition. Okay, if you want, I'm not going to oppose that. But Rukmini was totally disheartened when she heard. So she sent a Brahmana with a letter to Krishna. In that letter she just explained that how she heard about, just by hearing about Krishna, although she never met him, she had fallen in love with him. And she can't marry anyone else besides him. Whereas her brother is arranging her marriage with Shishupal just in 2 days' time. So the Brahmana came to Krishna in Dwarka, gave him the letter, and so immediately Krishna called his chariot driver, Daruka, and told him to get the chariot ready. And right away he left with the Brahmana in the chariot. Balaram got to know that Krishna has left all by himself. And he was worried that Krishna may face some difficulty. So he arranged the army and followed Krishna. So they came to this place, Kundin Gram, capital. And so in the meantime, all these people, all the kings accompanying Shishupal came there. And Rukmini is waiting. It's the same day that now she is going to she has to get married. And she was wondering whether Krishna got the letter, whether Krishna would come. Then that Brahmana just arrived and said, yes, Krishna has come. So Rukmini got some light in this acute anxiety of darkness. And when in the marriage ceremony, like before the wedding, the girl goes to the temple of Durga Devi. So Rukmini went to the temple and she just prayed to her that please bless me that I can get Krishna as my husband. Just as gopis also in Vrindavan prayed to Katyayani Devi, which is Durga Devi, that they could get Krishna as their husband. So she prayed to Durga Devi. And in the meantime, all the kings, actually Shishupal suspected or could preconceive that Krishna may come and create trouble. So he had all his allies there. Jarasandha was there, Dantavakra was there, Pundraka was there, Duryodhan was there, with their army. All of them came. Like for example, Jarasandha came with 23 Akshayani himself, and so many other kings with. There must have been an enormous gathering of soldiers there to protect the situation, so that Krishna cannot cause any distress. But as Rukmini came out of the temple, just by seeing her beauty, everyone became stunned. They practically froze. And at that time, Krishna just came with his chariot, picked Rukmini up in his chariot, on his chariot, and he drove. Balaram was already there with the army. Naturally, a terrible battle took place between Krishna Balaram and their army and all these kings together. But they couldn't prevent Krishna from taking Rukmini away. Now Rukmini's brother Rukmi got to know that Krishna has stolen her, his sister. So he took an army, his army, to defeat Krishna. And he took a vow at that time that I'm going to kill Krishna, rescue my sister. If I can't do that, I'm not going to come back to this place again. So, when Rukmini attacked Krishna, Rukmi attacked Krishna. Krishna defeated Rukmi, and he was about to chop his head off. Rukmini fell at his feet. Please don't do that to my brother, because then our relationship is going to be stained with his blood. So please spare him. So Krishna shaved his head, shaved his mustache halfway, half hair, half mustache. It's a terrible embarrassing situation for him. At that time, Balaram came there, and Balaram mildly and jokingly chastised Krishna. Krishna, is this the way to treat your brother-in-law? Because in the Vedic culture, brothers-in-law have a jovial relationship. So is this the way to treat your brother-in-law? And so in this way, Balaram mildly chastised Krishna and let Rukmi go. Rukmi did not go back to the capital, which is called Kundingram, and he settled down there and developed a city called Bhojakut. And so this is how he kept his vow. Then Krishna took Rukmini, and this is how Krishna got married to Rukmini. Rukmini Dwarkadhish ki. One day, a king called Satrajit came to Dwarka. And everybody thought that sun god has come, and they reported to Ugrasen in the assembly, and Krishna and Balaram was there in that assembly, that Surya, sun god has come. But actually what happened is, this Satrajit was a follower of sun god. And sun god gave him a jewel called Shamantaka jewel. And the Samantaka jewel was brilliant as the sun. Whoever wore it radiated the brilliance of the sun. Like he also became effulgent. So Krishna told Satyajit that he offers this jewel to King Ugrasen because it's the custom that the subordinate offers the best of their possession to the principal. But Satyajit did not say anything and he left. So one day, Satyajit's brother, carrying that jewel, wearing that jewel, went to the forest to hunt. And Prashen, his brother, got killed by a lion. And he didn't come back home, so Satyajit started to spread the rumor that in order to get that Samantaka jewel, Krishna has killed Prashen and taken the jewel away from him. So in order to free himself from this unpleasant rumor, Krishna decided to rescue this Samantaka jewel. So he went to the forest and he found the dead body of Prashen, and nearby he saw the body of a lion, dead lion. So he saw some footsteps. Following the footsteps, he came to a cave, and he went inside the cave, and he saw that one child is playing with that jewel. So he asked the child to give the jewel. And seeing him, this child began to cry. And the child's father came there. Who was the child's father? Jambavan. And Jambavan, seeing a stranger there, he attacked him. And together they fought for 28 days. No one could defeat the other. And they continued to fight like that. But one day Jambavan decided to offer some worship to his worshipable Lord Sri Ramchandra. There was no flower or anything, so he could collect some moss, the moss, and he took that and offered it to Lord Ramchandra. But then when he came to fight with Krishna, then he saw that that moss that he offered to Ramchandra is sticking on Krishna's feet. So this is how he recognized that this is none other than his Lord Ramchandra himself. So he fell at his feet, begging forgiveness due to his inability to recognize him, and he offered his daughter Jambavati, another extremely beautiful girl. So, and he offered Samantaka jewel as dowry. So, then Krishna came back with Jambavati and Samantaka jewel called Satyajit and gave that jewel back to him. But Satyajit also didn't want to take that, and he now became very afraid, very worried, that he developed an animosity with Krishna, and so he decided to make peace with him, and he offered his extremely beautiful daughter, Satyabhama, to Krishna. And he offered the jewel, Samantak, again to him. So this is how Krishna got married to three principal wives, Rukmini, Jambavati and Satyabhama. Then Krishna was visiting the Pandavas, and one day Krishna went hunting in the forest with Arjun, and after hunting they were on the bank of Jamuna, just two friends talking to each other. Then they saw a very beautiful girl, a solitary girl over there on the bank of Jamuna. So Krishna told Arjun, Arjun, go and find out who that girl is. So Arjun approached her, and she told that she's the daughter of sun god, and her name is Kalindi. She wanted to marry the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that's why she is performing austerities under Jamuna river, where her father created a palace for her. And so then Arjun said, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead is here, just sitting there. So Krishna took Kalindi Arjun took Kalindi to Krishna, and this is how he got married to the fourth wife, Kalindi. There was another extremely beautiful princess, the princess of Avanti. Her name was Mitravinda, and she was going to select her own husband, which is called Sayambara. The Kshatriya girls can select their own husbands in that ceremony of Sayambara. So her Sayambara was arranged, but her two brothers, Vinda and Anuvinda, were also allies of Jarasandha and Duryodhana and others. So in that, before the Sayambara, her brother actually told her that select anyone but Krishna. Don't select him as your husband. But Krishna came to that Sayambara, and again, a Kshatriya can actually forcibly take one girl. But Mitravinda, just by seeing Krishna, after all, she is Lakshmi herself, Krishna's eternal consort. So naturally, she fell in love with Krishna, and Krishna kidnapped her. Duryodhana and others were waiting to challenge at a distance. But Arjun came to side with Krishna, and Arjun defeated all those kings. And this is how Krishna got married to Mitravinda. There was another expansion of Lakshmi. Instead of telling an extremely beautiful girl, let's say another expansion of Lakshmi Devi was the princess of the province of Kekaya. Her name was Satya, Bhadra. So her father also saw that this girl is so exceptional. So he wanted to have an appropriate husband for her. Jai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Rukmini Dwarkadhish ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki Jai. So now in his possession, her father had 7 terrible bulls. And the condition was that if anybody could subdue the 7 bulls, then only he can win. his Bhadra's hand. So, many kings came, many princes came, and they all left with broken limbs. Many of them also died in that situation because these bulls were terrible, and not only one, 7 bulls. So Krishna came, and Bhadra fell in love with him just by seeing, and her father announced to Krishna, I want you to marry my daughter. But look, this is the condition that I have made. So Krishna said, no, it's all right. I will deal with those 7 bulls. Then Krishna went into that arena. Those 7 terrible bulls were released. Krishna expanded himself into 7 forms, and he dealt with those 7 bulls and subdued them. And that's how he got married to Bhadra. Then Krishna got married to Satya. Then he got married to 2 other princes in this way. They were Bhadra and Lakshmana. Bhadra was the daughter of the king of Kekaya province, and Lakshmana was the daughter of the king of Madra Desh, Madras, South India. So in this way, Krishna got married to 8 principal queens. And then there was a terrible demon called Narakasura. Indra came and reported to Krishna that this Narakasura is causing so much distress. He stole the earrings of Aditi, the mother of the demigods. He stole the umbrella of Indra, and he is causing so much distress. So the only person who could actually deal with him was Krishna. So Krishna went and killed Narakasura. Narakasura had in his captivity 16,100 princesses. So after killing Narakasura, Krishna released those 16,100 princesses. And so those princesses, when they were released, they fell at Krishna's feet and said that, look, our reputation has been tarnished. We have been abducted by this demon. We have been in his captivity. So no one is going to marry us. You are our only hope. So Krishna fulfilled their desire, and that's how Krishna got married to 16,100 captivated princesses. And so this is how Krishna got married to 16,108 queens. And each of these queens had a palace, and each of them had 10 sons. So you can well imagine how Dwarka was. Just for his queens, Krishna had 16,108 palaces. One day Narad Muni came, and he saw, Narad Muni wanted to see how Krishna is dealing with the 16,108 queens. And he went from one palace to another, and he found that in each palace there was one Krishna with his wife, with his queen. So that means Krishna expanded himself into 16,108 Krishnas, and he dealt with. And it has been described that Krishna, when he used to come to the Sudharma assembly, every day Krishna used to go to the assembly, king's assembly. And from all 16,108 palaces, 16,108 Krishna would come, and they would gradually keep on merging, and finally there would be one Krishna who would walk into the Sudharma assembly. So this is how wonderfully Krishna performed his pastimes, and this kind of pastimes can be performed only by Krishna himself, not by anyone else. All glories to Rukmini Dwarkadhish ki jai. All glories to Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Shamabeto Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.